Zensari, welcome. Welcome to the State of Mind. On that music down, let's get it going. Man, New South Wales, bubbling with cases. So we've got COVID popping up again. It's kind of like, you know when you have sex with someone and you get some weird bumps down there? And it could be herpes. That's what this is like. Like we could have full-blown COVID. But it's just a little outbreak. I mean, we know what, at least we know what this is. You know, it's unfortunate. You know, Melbourne's fucked. But we're doing all right. We're doing all right. The media's fucking me. Man, you know, I'm going to be doing this live every week, probably every Tuesday, probably 6 p.m. on twitch.tv/ChillzLive. Come follow, hang out. We'll fucking have some fun. Now, it'll also be on YouTube afterwards. Which is also just Chillzy. You'll find it. State of Mind with Chillz. Now, the media is fucking me. Okay, now, I run my show in Potts Point. My weekly comedy show, Magic Mike Comedy. Check it out. Now, what we're dealing with here is a situation where 2 restaurants in Potts Point got dinged for COVID. Employees, employee at each had it and gave it. Like the Apollo restaurant jams like so many people in there, like every night mostly. It's a real popular restaurant. So they're getting like, you know, probably a couple hundred people through there, whatever, especially on the weekends. So it's like real high turnover. The Thai restaurant, similar thing, probably less, but they're also doing deliveries, which is a bit fucked. Now, a couple of cases, so there's heaps of cases coming out of this, what the media is calling a Potts Point outbreak. Let me get both my fingers in here. Potts Point outbreak. It's not an outbreak in Potts Point. It's an outbreak that's from Potts Point. So what that means is the media is saying it's a Potts Point outbreak when there's 6, at the moment, there's only 6 active cases in the area. And 1 in Darlinghurst, which is just sort of down the road. So we're talking 7 active cases, which means 40 or whatever are from Potts Point, but not in Potts Point. The problem with that is the media's not telling people that. So I'm ended up with fucking ticket sales plummeting because everyone thinks that like Potts Point's more infested than my bed, but it's not. It's a nightmare. And I didn't even know about it. I only found out when I did the research and was like, how many cases are there? Should I be worried? And there's 6, and they're all contained. It's all contained in ISO. They know who they are. They're checking up on them. We're fine. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up and come to my shows. MagicMikeComedy.com for tickets. Yeah, Tia's got a work colleague who lives in Potts Point. Yeah, she's going to be fine. Everyone's going to be fine. We all just need to take a breather. Start coming back to the shows. I did 5 sold out shows and now I'm down to, I haven't even sold early birds out. Come on. Step it up, people. Do your research. Come have some of the best fun you'll ever have. That's enough about that. I can't be doing that, you know, just promoting the show, my weekly comedy show every night. Always be promoting. So that's, you know, that's irked me. That's a great start to my day. I have customers calling me being like, you know, what's the sitch? Is everything all right down there at Potts Point? Everything's fine. Everything's fine. There was more active cases in Sydney when, I don't know, it's area state. So what we're looking at, it's up, Maxi. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the shout out there. It is a good layout. Took me a while. We've got some shifting things as well. Things move around, but I'll get into that in a sec. When we read the articles, the chat's there. It's a good start to it. So we don't have full-blown COVID. We've got, you know, just a little taste coming back, you know what I mean? It kind of actually reminds me of when I was doing meth, which I know sounds fucking crazy. So when you do meth, in the little glass pipe, you when you're getting down to the end of it, like you end up smoking the stem, just the stick tube. glass, you heat that up and get the residue out of it. Now, when you're doing that, it's obviously, you're at the bottom. You're not even at the bottom of your pipe. You're at the of your barrel. You've passed that. You've gone past the bottom. You're getting like just a hint of it. It's so silly, but that's what this feels like with the COVID. We got the big hit, and then we ran out, and then someone's just gone along and started lighting up that stem. You go, oh, I'll get a little bit more. I'll get that little last bit, and you're fucking holding it upside down, and you're like boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? You're down here. I gotta make sure there's no branding on this yet. So you're like, you're holding the lighter here, and you're like trying to fucking not burn your fingers. You got fucking this going on, holding like scissors on it so you don't fucking burn yourself because you want to get right down to this last bit. It's sad times is what it is. That's what I'm relating it to. It's sad times. But now it's kind of like it's like, oh, there's a little more in here. There's a little more in here. There's always a little more in there. That's what it feels like with this COVID. There's always a little more just somewhere in there. It's just sprinkled around everywhere. Well, that completes my meth COVID analogy. What else did I want to go through? I've got some things. Potts Point outbreak. All right, it seems the protests are working. Chillz has changed its name. Oh yeah, 10,000 people marched through the streets for Black Lives Matter. Change the name of a cheese. I mean, yeah. Whatever. They should have just not announced it. You know what I mean? That's what happens. And when they announced it was directly after, a week after that protest. So it's kind of like, what are you doing? The worst timing ever. Now it seems like a direct result from the protest, which is so dumb. And it's not the result that anyone wanted. No one at that march was like, hey, change the name of Qantas. They were like, our family members are being murdered. Our brothers and sisters are being murdered in jail, on the streets. We're getting belted by the police. People are dying overseas, here as well. And then Qantas was like, oh, here you go. Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. And no one gives a shit. Now all it's done is the other side has come in and been like, yeah, now it's given an argument to the other side where people can be like, oh, we're, how dare they? Look, this is what it's come to. They're changing the name of this, they're changing the name of that. And it's like, we didn't fucking, no one wanted them to change the name. No one asked for them to change the name. They just did it. I'm sure some cunts did, barely any. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. On a list of things that are important, that is not even in the fucking top 1,000. It's fucking crazy. But, we got some clips coming up. I will need those. Qantas, so dumb. Protest definitely clearly working. What a tiny step. What a tiny step to... It should have just been... They should have waited till another big announcement, another good improvement was made, then throw that in there. Whatever. God, I saw something earlier as well. Some guy wants the name of some milk. Paul Newman's Smarter White is the name of the milk, type of milk, Smarter White. I mean, when I saw that, I get it. I get why that's fucked. But who would fucking... What idiot? Because that's not that's not been around forever. You know what I mean? That's like a new product. Smarter White? You have to be so oblivious to the fucking world around you to actually do that. To name your product that. Obviously, self-awareness is fucking ridiculous to have that little self-awareness. But who knows what they're going to change next? Could be anything. It could be one of you. Though we had the. I think I'm just going through this in a weird way, just how I know how to do it for now. There was the Black Lives Matter, the big Black Lives Matter protest, and there was one pretty much every week. So what they did was they sprinkled them out throughout, like at extra ones, obviously not as big as that first one, because shortly afterwards COVID started picking up again. People were like, oh, we got away with that first one with no cases, let's not fuck it up for everyone. How about that? Try that. And yeah, I'm not 100% sure what happened, but they have organized basically a new protest each week. I think maybe once a week for different things, different parts around the Black Lives Matter movement, like on the fringes of it essentially, and also like individual families. So like they've spread them out over the few weeks, and it's like this one that was on supposed to be on Tuesday last week was for one specific family. Now, if every week there is a Black Lives Matter movement protest for an individual family of an Indigenous family who's lost someone to police or in prison, who gets April 2021? We're going to be here all fucking year and nothing's going to happen. It's like, what would that be compared to? Yeah, it's like, when you first smoke cigarettes, like you take a break from smoking, the first one gives you the hit. And then you just don't even taste the rest of them. So, I mean, that is it. Like, your first pinger is always the best. Oh, man. Basically me just referring to everything as drugs. Great. But yeah, so the impact's gone, and there's only 5 cases in the state when we did that first one. Now, there's 100 or however many, 100 plus. It's gotten out of control, and it's not contained either. There's like cases loose on the street now. Those 5 in the original were at the first BLM protest. They were all contained in a hotel. These they're loose on the streets. There was an influencer who literally said to a security guard, like, "Hey, what's that?" And he turned around and she ran out the fire escape. This is the level of fucking Looney Tunes hijinks we're dealing with. And she just ran through Circular Quay, just fucking spreading it everywhere. Ridiculous, man. What the fuck? With like people getting away with the dumbest shit. So this one that was supposed to be Tuesday last week was organized by Paddy Gibson. And he was arrested almost immediately. Where are we? Here we go. So, yeah, so having a look here, right? So the 6 protesters, Paddy's one of them.
You are in breach of the public health order by congregating in the domain in a group of more than 20 people. If you do not immediately disperse from the domain, you will be detained and legal action will be taken against you. Okay. You must immediately leave the domain. You're breaching the public health order.
Excuse me, sir. We would like an opportunity for it to be this family and the protest organisers who now work to. I would call on people to leave now. Leave now. Leave now. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Leave the domain.
Oh man. So this guy, the courts told him not to do the protest. He did the protest anyway. This is moments before the protest. There wasn't many people there. Obviously, it's illegal and all this shit. And then, as soon as he gets detained, he's like, "Leave now, leave now." Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, yeah.
Tell the people to cancel the rally. Leave the domain.
Cancel the rally.
Don't come near me. Don't come near me and disperse the crowd. Disperse the crowd, comrade.
Boys.
Please, everyone leave safely. Justice for David Dungay. We will not stop until the guards are charged.
The wall of blue.
Charge the guards who killed David Dungay now. Justice for all victims of death.
There's a couple of there was people down there, but I think one of these is oh, there we go. Look at this. That looks so bad, this shot here. I mean, it looks like it was so dangerous and so violent. He was putting up a massive fight. He wasn't. He wasn't at all. You know what I mean? He fucking dragged everyone out there, knowing that the rally was illegal. And then when the cops grabbed him, immediately said, everyone leave, everyone leave. Yeah, I'm sure I mean, you could make an argument it's for their own safety, but you stood your ground, whatever. You could have just gone down there with the organisers and with the organisers and the family, just you guys, and made your protest, not dragged everyone else down there. I bet you if there was thousands of people down there, it would have gone differently. He would have been shouting something completely different. You know what I mean? We wouldn't have been like, leave, get out of here. He was like, he fucking saw that the turnout wasn't what he wanted. He saw it wasn't going the way he wanted and pulled the pin at the fucking last minute. Grub. I hate that pussy shit. That's like what KSO did, Keep Sydney Open. Government told them they can't do their protests and they fucking bitched it on the second one. And then ever since then, KSO, Keep Sydney Open was the top and then just went boom. They had 30 people at their next protest or whatever it was. Fucking garbage. Never bitch it on your protest. Never bitch it on your protest. The whole point of protesting is to be, especially against the powers, like the politicians and the police, is that they are fucking you so hard. And you just never bitch it at the protest. What are you doing? Have a backbone. Man, tell them stay there until they fucking drag you all out. It frustrates me. I'm glad. I wish more people went, to be honest. I wish $1,000 fine. Fuck off. I wish they fucking more people showed up, but I wish Paddy Gibson here didn't fucking bitch it at the last minute. Man, it's infuriating. People that protest but then choose to fucking not stand by it. Oh well. I mean, there's also a side of it that's really I mean, things would probably go different if he was looked more Indigenous, but I don't know if he is Indigenous or not. But if he's not, you really don't want to have a white boy looking this crazy when you vote for your cause. Definitely not. Definitely not. Not the figurehead of your cause, especially an Indigenous cause. I mean, it's good that he's out front taking the bullets, I guess. Wing. I mean, he immediately gives up. When you're in that much mainstream media as well, like you got that much mainstream media covered, cameras there, and just coverage in general. The cops are very limited in the amount in terms of dog shotting you. They're not really, there's too many eyes, so they can't really. They won't really throw in and throw a fucking elbow or whatever. They do that shit when there's phone cameras out. With all this media, you could have fucking stood your ground. You could have, I don't know. I would have done it differently. Cancel the rally. Second he gets pulled away. It's not about you, mate. It's about everyone else. So that's what we've got on that. Things will be a bit more relevant next week. I've held on to these for a while. Oh yeah, we had. This is how boring the world's gotten. There was a 50-year-old Qantas plane that got retired, and It was on every single news channel. Like, is this how dark times have gotten? It drenched social media like a bukkake of boring. It was just the most pointless shit ever. They had 4 drones. Each channel had like 4 drones going as it was like moving around the airport and about to take off. Why? We do not. Well, that's the thing. I'm saying when we don't care, there was so many people that did care. So many people. I saw people sharing it, just like, oh, aviation, this. And I was, shut the fuck up. You've never cared about aviation. I've never seen a single thing. Like, aviation? That's like stealth bombers and shit are fucking cool. Yeah, but this is a fucking Qantas jet. 50 years old. Why are people... I didn't even know that planes were that old. Like that were still flying people through the air. Think about how insane that is. This is flying hundreds of people through the air up until like a couple of weeks ago. What on earth is going on? Why the fuck is that happening? I mean, if you were about to board the plane and they were like, hey, this is our Qantas 747. It's 48 years old, 2 more years till retirement. You would shit bricks. You wouldn't get on the plane. 50 years old is just disgusting. Maxie here in the chat says, my uncle has been working for Qantas his whole life. He's the only person I know who cared. Yeah, because that's a work colleague for him. You know, that's someone that's, you know, he's been there. You know what I mean? He's high-fived that plane. He's been in there. He's been in its guts, day in, day out. That's a different story. On my Facebook, I saw musicians, DJs, everyone fucking, you know, loving it. And I think it's just the fact that there was something in the news other than fucking, you know, COVID. But it's still, it goes to show you how the media can really manipulate your shit up. Things are so bad that the most exciting part of the day was a jet doing its last flight. Cool, bro. Awesome. You know what? What's next on the news? I'm washing my sheets later. A whole lot, all of them in one go. Fucking fitted sheet, top sheet, all of them. Throw it up, Channel 7, get some drones in the house. God damn it, you fucking... That's just so annoying that, like, you know, probably like 1 million people plus saw that footage of this Qantas jet flying off. And, you know, there's comedians doing such funny shit out there, putting it up on YouTube, getting the same amount of exposure, like getting the same amount of views. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Pull your fucking head in. Fine-tune your content. I'm a victim to this as well. Fine-tune your content so you're not seeing Qantas shit unless they force it in your fucking face. And if they do, make sure you don't care. Pretend, at least have some dignity. God. As you can tell, I'm a little fired up about how boring that was. All right. Got some serious things coming up here. Wrap into the fucking back end of this bitch. We might hit an hour. So the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, has recommended that we all have children to save the economy. This is a true, real story. I'll bring it up here for you. Boom, boom. So, this doofus, who looks like it could be me in the future, Federal Treasurer forecast difficult economic recovery after coronavirus. No shit. But, no, you guys don't need, so I'm not going to go far as Peter. Okay, population growth. All right. So the closure of international borders has halved Australians' population growth, which means half our population growth is completely dependent on internationals. Simple as that. What that means, which is garbage, and probably why the price of everything's so fucking, the price of real estate and land and everything's so high. And population growth has been integral to almost 3 decades of economic growth prior to the deadly coronavirus pandemic taking hold of and sending Australia into a recession, which isn't true. We're actually severely in debt prior, like in Labor, and even like worse in Liberal. So I won't go as far as to say like Peter Costello, one for the mother, one for the father, and one for the country. Yeah. But I can say that people should feel encouraged about the future. And the more children that we have across the country, together with our migration, we will build our population growth, and that will be good for the economy. Yes. And then right here, I think the best thing we can do to encourage more children being born across the country is obviously to create a strong economy for them to be born into. So which is it? The strong economy for, made by children, or a strong economy so that we can make more children? It's mind-blowing. So, yeah. His early signs of recovery. Basically, fucking doofus. Right. This fucking moron. Real great advice. You know what I mean? The country is fucking hurtling towards $1 trillion in debt. $1 trillion recession. And he's like, have a baby. Have a baby? That's Western Sydney logic. Now, how infuriating. Have a baby. My God. All right. So first of all, that is Western Sydney logic. Like when two 20-year-olds are like, hey, our relationship's terrible. Let's add another fucking life to the mix. That'll fix it, surely. No, it won't, you idiots. It's never worked. It's never worked for anyone. No one's ever had a kid and then been financially stable and secure. It's not how it works. You're supposed to be financially stable, then have a fucking child. You're going to... Idiot. 10% of the country's unemployed. People are fighting each other to death. People are faking getting kidnapped. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Have a kid. They're literally people are fighting in the fucking groceries, and fighting for jobs for the honor of stacking shelves in Woolworths. And this financial wizard's great idea is have children. Hey, Josh, there's no toilet paper on the shelves. You think the people of this country should have more kids? This isn't trickle-down economics, it's trickle-down stupidity. This guy's a fucking moron. This is the same fuck with the, misplaced $60 billion in a fucking estimate, in a thing. A $60 billion mistake. I know if I lost $50, I'd know about it. This guy lost fucking $60 billion. He miscalculated it, and he's in charge of the country's finances. Are you fucking high? My God. Every step of the way, this government is just a fucking shit show. Every step of the way. I mean, it's great. It's great. I just realized I've just done this whole podcast is just me ranting. I've got to make sure it's more ridiculous instead of angry. This is just me being angry about how fucking stupid everything is. Oh, man. My heart's in it. It's fired me up. Fires me up. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's fucking stupid, cunt. God. Well, speaking of which, another little update from Joshy Boy here. It's sort of related to Josh Freuden, the federal treasurer. But we've got... There's a big thing that's just starting to unravel at the moment called the iCare corruption scandal, sort of. It's... So essentially, it's a mismanaged funds. It's got everything in it. Las Vegas. This story is red hot. I love it. So basically, let me give you a quick rundown. iCare. They are the New South Wales. iCare is the New South Wales government's insurer. So they insure insurance for police, nurses, and public servants, I believe. But they also insure the Opera House and things like that in the state, big landmarks and fucking all that shit, probably government houses, all that stuff. And they also look after the Treasury Managed Fund, which is This is directly from their site. The TMF was created so New South Wales government agencies are fully covered when something goes wrong. What if the thing governing to make sure, like, if things are covered, if something goes wrong, goes wrong? That's what we're living with now. It provides a level of cover that is not available in the commercial market at an affordable cost. The government can insure against almost any liability, injury, loss, or damage that may be suffered by individuals who work for and assets owned and run by its agencies. Coverage is worldwide. So basically, it's a worldwide insurer for politicians and the government and police and AFP and all that sort of shit. I'm going to try and make this funny. It's all just anger. Let me try. It's very hard to make this funny. All right. So, for 3 hours, 4 of the executives were grilled by like this high level fucking commission thing going on. 3 hours. Just grilled about the mismanagement of funds. So basically iCare's underpaid 52,000 insured workers up to $80 million. So 52,000 people got paid out wrong. Now they came back and said, yeah, nah. More like 5 to 10,000 and up to 10 mil. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like when you go, oh dude, you owe me that $100. And then they were like, he's like, 100. No, dude, I owe 10. Shut the fuck up, you idiots. You've definitely fucked this. Like, they're just like, they know they're done. You know, they know they're busted and everything's gone to shit and the investigation's revealed too much. So they're just like, oh shit, it's all starting to unravel. So now they're just trying to lower the amount they owe as much as they can. 5 to 10,000 up to 10 mil. And they're just like, no, it's fine. It's only this much. Shut up. Yeah, it's crazy. And like, think about this, right? So 52,000 injured workers up to $80 million that they mispaid and paid incorrectly. Now think about what I just said about what these guys do. These guys insure government things and government politicians and like public servants and government people, which means they fucked over the government's like this. These guys aren't only fucking us over. They work for the government. They're fucking us over, and the government's fucking over us and their own. You know, people that work for them. It's fucking insane. What kind of a company would just? Oh my god. And yeah, it obviously there's going to be heaps more of this coming out later, so I'll try and I'll keep up to date on it. God, the government just fucks us over, fucks over their own people. They backstab each other like with the fucking Dutton and all this other crazy shit. It's just a fucking knife fight in there. You guys don't give a shit about anything. So we're looking at here. There's a few things that stood out in this article, right? This whole situation, which is, so the CEO stepped down immediately after that 3-hour grilling in the fucking hot seat, right? So immediately after, he realized he's fucked and just pulls the pin. He gets out like Paddy Gibson. He's like, fuck, I'm done. Out we get. And which I hate as well. Fucking Mike Baird did that as well. As soon as fucking Barry O'Farrell, as soon as corruption starts sneaking up in any sort of government situation, they just quit. And apparently that's enough. They just get away with it then. Like whatever was about to like get revealed or whatever was about to happen suddenly just doesn't matter because they're not in a position anymore. I think they should be fucking dragged through as a person instead of a politician or a fucking CEO. They should be fucking grinded down to the very fucking last bit of info and evidence out of them, because this happens way too much. Politicians leave as soon as a little hint of corruption comes up, a little hint of scandal, they just quit and that's it. You never fucking hear about it again. It's fucking bullshit. Fucking Mike Baird quit because his family was sick. 3 months later, got a fucking job at NAB high executive. Like, fucking corruption in this city is insane. So old mate here was grilled for 3 hours about I'll flick it over to the show. There we go. Yeah. I find it's this grub here. There we go. So this grub here, John Nagel, so he apparently was taking private jets to Las Vegas from Australia, which is fucking mental. Like the cost of that would have been fucking astronomical. Like $1,500 return on a fucking normal plane. Then you times that by whatever it is to fly private. So he's flown to Las Vegas to speak at a conference for Guidewire. Now, Guidewire is a company that's received millions in contracts from iCare for software for management stuff, like software for data management. So the company's paid out millions to Guidewire. Now suddenly he's flying a private jet to go visit Guidewire for their conference. And there's also like a 20 plus million to brokers. And because of all this mismanagement and shit, right? It's all about how, like, what the fuck weighs all this government money, essentially, all this money from the government. Which now I'm thinking about it, I kind of like that they fucking took the government's money. But I'm fucked over government. They didn't fuck over the government, though. They fucked over the people in the government to help the government, I guess. So, yeah, they grilled him for 3 hours, asked him about the private flights to Las Vegas. He said it was for, work thing for the conference. Then they asked him how much his salary was last year, and he said, I'll have to get back to you on that. Because he said he doesn't remember and doesn't have it in front of him. Who doesn't know how much their fucking salary is? Like, oh, yeah, give a ballpark. Like, we're gonna hear about it. See, that's actually, we're not. Oh, because he quit. This guy's salary was so big, he fucking quit immediately before having to reveal it. He would rather fucking die than tell. Oh, man. I just cannot believe this. Yeah, so they asked him to bring it next time, and he fucking quit instead, so he doesn't have to deal with it. Doesn't have to prove that he was fucking stealing millions and millions from the people's hard-earned lives. He had his wife employed as well on contract. So she was, but he's like, his reasoning, his excuse to get out of it all was like, oh, I've got this, she's on a different thing where she doesn't report to me directly and all this other stuff. And so, yeah, where is it? Yeah, down here. So business class flights to Las Vegas. Software promotional video for Guidewire on their website. Underpaid as many as 52,000. All right. Yeah, here we go. His wife's role after she was hired on a contract to work for a training project for Nominal Insurer, the agency's key workers' compensation scheme, which reported to him, gave evidence that he had no idea of the monetary value of his wife's contract. So she's reporting directly to him, and he says, I have no idea how much my wife's getting paid. It's just a shit. Look at how smug he is. That is the face of a man that knows he's caught and knows he's going to get away with it. Oh, finagled it. Gave evidence to close the conflict. He said he disclosed the conflict with the then chief executive and the chief legal officer. Steps were taken, but he was later stripped of his bonus because of the handling of it. All right. Contemplated resigning, but was against it. So he's just resigned, actually. Opted to take questions about their salaries on notice. So all of them, group's executives, these three here, and four of them, have chosen to take their questions about their salary on notice. So they're refusing to reveal how much money they've got. That's cool. The whole point of this is about mismanagement, and you can't even remember how much money you made. Cool. Great work, you fucking pigs. Oh, man. I don't believe it's improper at all. Shut the fuck up. You've just ripped off people that seriously hurt themselves at work. Ooh. Busted. Oh. So yeah, he resigned. Smug prick. Where's my... So there's another little cheeky thing in here, right? So if you want to get a rough idea of what the executive salaries were at, we're talking apparently since 2015 when this thing was formed. There's The amount of executives who earned $300,000 a year plus somewhere in the company probably, had not doubled, not tripled, had in the 5 years since then gone up 22 times. 22 times the amount of people making 300 grand a year or more. That is disgusting. This is a government paid for fucking system. So they basically just got a government contract and just went, everyone's making fuckloads. Like, imagine this, right? Imagine where you work. Whatever company you're at, it doesn't really matter because the way that a company structure works is basically a pyramid. But, but with a high top. So it's like your top management, there would be one or, a couple of people maybe in your company making like 300 grand a year or more. There might be one, max 2 directors would be doing that. Not like there's, in each company, there can't be that many unless it's like a major company. Now, think about where you work. Now, think about the top dog. They'd be making around that. Now, think about 22 of those in the one company. And then everyone under it was making less than 300 grand, which would probably like in 100s, 200s, like thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, 200,000, 200,000, 100,000. In under 300,000 was everyone else. But above 300,000 and above was 22 of them. No, not even 22 of them. Went up 22 times. Which means if there was one and it went up 22, there's 22 of them. But there's more. There's like, could be 50, could be 100. Fucking craziness. 7 executives were making $700K a year each. That's insanity. They're not inventors. They're not revolutionizing anything. They're not Uber, like the directors of Uber. They just run a management. They just insure shit at for the government and for shit like that. Absolute fucking corrupt dog system. Lucky our PM's on holiday, so we can't deal with any of this. Garbage. I mean, that looks like it's probably a pod, bro. Looks like we're at a pod. We're 54 minutes. Looking pretty good. I want to get this one thing out. Cheeky little. I have a thought on the COVID idea. We'll end it on this. COVID. I call it the COVID cleanse theory. Now, it's not a name I'm going to stick with. But I think the reason that the whole cities and everything's shut down for this virus that really only affects the elderly, because the government it's not the government cares about its people. Like I've even just shown you that they don't even care about themselves. So realistically, what would happen if we let this virus roll out, just go completely ham? Herd immunity, things viruses would start to, what the fuck? All right, hang on a sec. I've got to close the fucking... I've got to end the stream. Got to close the stream, sorry.